Every minute around the world, a woman dies in pregnancy or childbirth. Millions of others experience debilitating childbearing injuries. The most devastating is obstetric fistula. Juliana lives here with her husband and their 16-year-old son. It's here where she developed obstetric complications during her second pregnancy. Juliana is one of the million women in developing countries who suffer obstetric fistula, a childbirth injury that results from prolonged or obstructed labor. Like most women who develop this condition, Juliana labored for several days, unable to push her baby through the birth canal. Without access to a hospital, she gave birth to a stillborn child. And the tissue damage caused by constant pushing left a hole, or a fistula, between the bladder and her vagina. For the last 8 years, urine has leaked uncontrollably, and without help, she will leak for the rest of her life. Kenya is a land of promise, yet surrounded by a paradox of problems. In Mungai, a remote district at the eastern part of the country, people depend on agriculture for survival. Although the rains are unreliable, people plough the land with hope for success, but only enough falls for the grass to grow. Recurrent famine is almost a way of life, and relief food is a substitute where hardships play no favourites. Most women who live in this area deliver at home. Limited transportation options make it difficult to get emergency care when labour complications arise. Hospitals and health centres are spread over wide distances, and the only available clinics like this one are often closed or may not be sufficiently equipped to perform an emergency caesarean section. This, however, becomes too late to save the baby or to prevent a fistula, and in severe cases, the mother dies as well. Dr. Kiiru, one of the few fistula surgeons in Kenya, is doing a remarkable job in restoring dignity to the lives of the women.
A woman with a fistula presents with lack of control of urine and stool, leading to smelling urine and constant wetness. Skin changes on the private parts. The vagina develops stenosis or a stricture, leading to narrowing, and this affects sex. It also affects menstruation and can lead to infertility.
The pain and loneliness associated with fistula is often compounded by a sense of shame and humiliation. The injury leaves women with few opportunities to earn a living. In her condition, Juliana goes to work on her neighbour's farm every day until late afternoon. She earns less than $1 a day, which is not enough to feed her family. It's a constant struggle. While many women with fistula have supportive families, the smell can drive even loving husbands away. Juliana's husband abandoned her for 2 years. Although he denies having left her, he says his wife's illness still bothers him. Across the province is Kitui district, another marginalized area where other women live with the shame of the unspeakable fistula. Mary was a teenager when she gave birth to a stillborn child. Undernourished and still physically immature, she was unable to deliver a baby. She labored for 3 days before she could be taken to a hospital facility 150 kilometers away. Her father is a worried man. He believes the operation done on his daughter caused the urine problem. Poverty is the main obstacle for this family. Fortunately, Mary's elder sister Kavata learns that Mary could be treated for free at a mission hospital in Nairobi. The family is delighted. They escort her as she leaves for hospital. The long road to treatment begins. No accessible roads, only footpaths that cut across massive inhabited land. Distance here is measured out in hours or days. It took 3 hours to get to the car that would take Mary to hospital. After 2 days of travelling, Mary and her sister arrive at Jamaa Mission Hospital for admission. Mary and Juliana's stories are common at Jamaa Mission Hospital, where women like these come for treatment. Many have been left by their husbands and almost ostracized by their communities because of their constant smell. This is exclusively a fistula ward, where the hospital is saving hundreds of women from lives of humiliation and disgrace, women who have endured incredible injuries while giving birth. The grief of losing a child aggravates the pain, but the courage many of these women show in the face of these challenges is extraordinary. Jamaa Mission Hospital is run by nuns who have done significant work in striving to repair and bring hope to the lives of women.
The Fistula project began in the year 2004 after experiencing cases of women with fistula complication admitted in the hospital. So far, we have assisted over 450 women undergo fistula surgery, with an average of 25 women admitted per month.
At last, Juliana was brought to the mission facility through Jamaa Fistula Network. Today is her big day in theatre, a step away from the life of shame and humiliation.
We are going to attempt to repair a vaginal fistula through the vaginal route and the spinal anesthesia. Ideally, this is a procedure that would take 1 to 2 hours.
What is worrying is that the need for surgery for women like Juliana has reached critical proportions in this country. There is urgent need to deal with 2 skills resources. One skill resource for surgery and the other for money. However, thinking of how these 2 resources are going to be met is a constant struggle. Mary has undergone a successful operation. This is her 4th day after surgery. She is recuperating in the same fistula ward with Juliana. The nurse here says her recovery progress is impressive.
Patient by the name Kavata Kilonzi here, who came with a problem of vaginal fistula, of which has been repaired. Now she's doing her 4th day, and she's really doing well.
After 8 days of recovery, Mary is taken to theatre again. This time, the doctor is running tests on her bladder.
We have just removed the catheter after instilling 120 cc of dye into her bladder, and there was absolutely no leakage.
Nishukuru sana kwa kunileta huku mkanitengeneza vizuri, na sasa niko poa.
Mary is now discharged from hospital. Her sister has come to collect her, and they are about to begin their long way back home.
Sasa tumeshukuru kwa vile Meli amepona. Sasa hivi tunaelekea nyumbani. Tutajua vile tutakuja kurudisha shukrani kwa sababu tunamwona amepona.
On the other hand, Juliana has a few more days to go. According to the doctor, she is responding well to treatment.
Kuna shida yoyote? Makojo inatoka vizuri, eh?
Finally, Juliana is also discharged. She too will return for review after 1 month. This is the first time Juliana is entering public transport with confidence, backed by her renewed status. No public shame, no humiliation. She sits back with her friends and manages a hearty smile. Fistula is a comparatively hidden problem, largely because it affects the marginalized. This Fistula Media Workshop is one way of breaking the silence.
We organized for this media workshop as first to pass out the information first that it is a major public health problem, and then also because we need the policy makers and basically the government to give it a bit more priority than it is giving it at the moment.
Fistula comes about because something was not done right. As a Ministry of Health, we are saying that we have patients with the fistula and we are embarrassed that it has reached that point.
The United Nations Population Fund is promoting a worldwide campaign to end fistula. But the discrepancy is very big and is unfortunately growing.
In Kenya, the situation is equally bad because we see about between 3,000 and 5,000 cases of obstetric fistula every year, with an existing backlog of about 30,000 cases still in the communities, within the communities, having not been attended to. The reasons for the high backlog is one, the stigma that is associated with obstetric fistula. Not many women who are suffering from obstetric fistula are willing to open up and seek medical treatment. The second thing is that there isn't enough awareness within the communities of the services that are available within the hospitals.
Once they have been surgically repaired, many women go on to enjoy rich lives and bear healthy children. Elizabeth is one of the women who have successfully given birth since her repair. However, she is still trying to overcome her past. Monica sustained nerve damage during her prolonged labor, and she could not walk, but after successful surgery, she is now going places. Like maternal mortality, fistula is almost entirely preventable.
I strongly feel that this is a condition that can be prevented. However, we do have patients who are still having fistula and the surgery need to be done. But these patients are very poor, and we have to look for funds to be able to support surgery, because it takes about 52,000 per patient to cure a fistula.
Due to the poor economic status of the women who are suffering from fistula, I appeal to well-wishers to come forward and support the fistula project in the hospital, an initiative that promotes empowerment of women, a way of breaking the silence of many women who live in isolation due to the stigma of having a fistula.
Empowering women to reclaim their position in society is a collective responsibility. All they require is a little attention to put back their lost smile.